And a couple years ago, we had a 23-debate traveling circus, and I think it's about time that we cut out those people that are actually spending their time and money promoting our opponents. I'm not going to sit around and let it happen anymore. That's all I'm saying. They can go ahead and do it, and I have the I can say no.
Chairman of the Republican National Committee, Reince Priebus, standing his ground against plans by NBC and CNN to produce programs about Hillary Clinton leading up to the 2016 election. Earlier this week, he issued this ultimatum. And it's appalling to know executives at major networks like NBC and CNN who have donated to Democrats and Hillary Clinton have taken it upon themselves to be Hillary Clinton's campaign operatives. I will seek a binding vote stating that the RNC will neither partner with these networks in 2016 primary debates nor sanction primary debates they sponsor. Let's go out to California right now. And Rich, what do you say about this?
You know, I think it's great for Reince. It's about time, actually. I think we've been wanting to have an RNC leader that would push back. I mean, let's face it, if there was a firewall between NBC and NBC News, NBC Entertainment, NBC News, then maybe it would be believable. But now there's talk of Alec Baldwin getting his own show on MSNBC. So the lines have been blurred. You look at the Today Show every single morning, they're pushing out you know, some sort of NBC movie or sitcom. So the simple fact is there is no real firewall, and to choose to do something about Hillary Clinton, I think the timing just stinks.
We should also point out, panel, that CNN issued a statement basically stating that it's pretty much suggesting its critics to wait and see. But isn't that a little bit too late to kind of put that out there now?
No, I don't think it is too late. And I think that if CNN, not the news division, wants to do a documentary by Charles Ferguson, who was really tough on the financial sector, I say fine. It'll come out in 2014. We don't even know if she's running. Let's just freedom of the press. Let them do what they want.
We know she's running. Judy, we know she's running.
Maybe she's not healthy. She's not running.
Why don't you do it on John Edwards? Do it on John Edwards. Let's not do it on somebody who we know is running for president.
The problem is also it would never fly. I mean, if this was coming out on Rand Paul or Marco Rubio, the media would be in absolute uproar that candidate was getting so much attention. Even if there were some negative things thrown in, it still puts them front and center and gives them name recognition right from the start.
But I have to say, Mr. Priebus, Maureen Dowd said she's making that he is making her look much more important. I thought that was very apt.
NBC is in a squeeze here between Priebus on the right and Andrea Mitchell and Chuck Todd on the left, if you will. And I would be surprised if they kick it over to cable, that they don't actually run on NBC.
And as you said, they're in a squeeze. Speaking of being in a squeeze, perhaps somewhat, moving on to remarks from Oprah Winfrey this week.
It's so easy during this time. Trayvon Martin parallel to Emmett Till. Let me just tell you. In my mind, same thing. But you can get stuck in that and not allow yourself to move forward and to see how far we've come.
Oprah Winfrey making her first public comments about the Trayvon Martin shooting, equating that tragedy, as you just heard, to the brutal murder of 14-year-old African-American Emmett Till in Mississippi at the age of 14 in August of 1955. Did she go too far with this?
I think that what she was reflecting was what many African Americans feel, the sentiment. And I think if she hadn't added the second part, which is, look at how far we've come, it would have been inappropriate. But I think it was an honest feeling that she was expressing.
There's for me, it bothers me just because there's an insistence to make that about race, to constantly make something about race that many people feel wasn't about race on the part of the media. So I just think it's unnecessary. I think you can call for a coming together. I think you can condemn violence, black against white, white against black, Hispanic against, whatever your race may be, and not make race a divisive issue, and that still leaves it divisive to me.
You can call for coming together only with honesty about the issue. I mean, for example, a month ago in Florida, a white kid was on a school bus and was beaten within an inch of his life by 3 African-American kids. And guess what? Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, not heard from. Sean Hannity is the only major figure in the media I'm aware of who's really kept focusing on this. Has actually been quite a few of those kind of crimes that, oddly enough, the mainstream media aren't interested in.
But on 2 different occasions, she said, 2 different interviews, she said, we've come so far. So I think that she was very fair and balanced about it, actually.
And in stating that we've come so far, it bears that we should be able to discuss address race without always revisiting the wounds of the past, even though we should learn from that past in order to move forward in an appropriate manner where there's reconciliation and then healing and then hopefully transformation where we can get past this thing and just be one America for all. Am I being too optimistic?
No, I don't think so.
That's what Martin Luther King said.
Well, it is. Pretty much.
That was the message.
All right, we'll keep on dreaming.